Hello, my friends. Over the past number of months, I've asked you the question, what are you going to do when you get certified? Which certification will you go for next? And I did talk about the professional Scrum Master. So I want to shed some light on it and give you a few certification nuggets for you to understand what exactly is required. Now, if you are thinking of taking this exam, as I have advised, go on down to scrum.org. I am not affiliated with scrum.org in any way. I have just taken a number of their certifications. I have followed Ken Schwaber and Jeff Sutherland pretty close. This is Ken's website. And on his website, if you go straight to certification, you can see a number of certifications. Now, Ken and Jeff are the co-creators of Scrum. What I recommend people to do, if you really want to know about something, if you really want to learn something properly, instead of going to other channels that do not have as much insight into the formation of that method or that framework, why not go directly to the source? So if you want to know more about Scrum, my recommendation is going straight to the source, and that's Jeff and Ken. And Ken has set up a website where you can learn a lot more about Scrum and actually take certification exams that are very well regarded and recognized in industry. So why don't you follow me on down to scrum.org. If you go to scrum.org and you go on down to certification, you can see all of these certifications are available. If you've just gotten PMP certified, my recommendation is the Professional Scrum Master. Let's click on that. And going down here, you can see that they are different levels. There's PSM 1, 2, and 3. I've done the PSM 1 level, and that's pretty much what I'm going to be talking about today. Okay. If you want to buy the certification to take the exam, just click on that, buy the assessment, and you can take the assessment. And if I correct this here, let me remove that and put it back. If you put in the assessment into your shopping cart, you see that it's $150. So I often tell people that this certification is low cost, low risk, high value. Low cost, low risk. You can't go wrong with $150. Now, the exam is not proctored by someone at Pearson, like the PMP exam. You're free to take it on your own, but I can tell you 80 questions within that short time frame of an hour is very challenging. In fact, I had about 50 questions when I had 30 minutes left on my exam. So you can see it's not a cakewalk. You really have to be good and understand your Scrum really well for you to take and succeed on this exam. So going back to the website here, if you go to certifications, you'll find a lot more information about the certifications on Ken's website. But we're really going to focus more, like I said, on the professional Scrum Master. So today I'm going to share with you nuggets, because if you want to pass this exam, there's certain things that you should be aware of and certain ways that you should prepare. First of all, you should read the Scrum Guide. The Scrum Guide is the guide on which these certifications are based in essence. And then you got to build on that and understand more of the intricacies and the practicality. So I'll be bringing you one of these every week or every other week, and we'll talk about what you need to succeed on the PSM exam. The first thing I'm going to talk about in this episode is understanding and applying the Scrum framework. So in order for you to do well on the test, you should understand empiricism, Scrum values, the Scrum team, events of Scrum, artifacts of Scrum, what done means, and what scaling means in context of Scrum. So we'll break these down into little pieces, and today we'll talk about empiricism. What exactly is empiricism? You might have heard the word before. The key thing about empiricism is understanding that we learn from real experiences best. You could read books all day long. You could listen to what other people have said, but if you are not experiencing it for yourself, you've not really learned from the best teacher. So we learn from real experiences, and we adjust using inspect and adapt feedback loops. We look at empiricism as the cornerstone of Scrum and Agile. A Scrum professional should be able to apply concepts of the empirical process to solve problems. And what that means is they're able to tackle problems based on mindset. They're able to break problems down into smaller increments that generate valuable evidence. You get that word? Evidence. It's all about value, evidence, and tackle problems using this evidence that they've gleaned In a nutshell, empiricism means working in a fact-based and experience-based manner, dealing with facts, dealing with experience, and lastly, evidence-based, dealing with evidence that you've gotten from real experiences. So empiricism is important because theories and hypotheses must be observed and tested to be considered accurate. Scrum is not based on assumptions. It relies on what is truly experienced individually, team by team, in order to adapt to the changing requests and the requirements of the customer. So taking a few pages from the Scrum Guide, Scrum is founded on empiricism and lean thinking. Empiricism asserts that knowledge comes from experience and making decisions based on what is observed. Various practices exist to forecast progress, like burn down, burn ups, cumulative flows. And while those are proven useful, those do not replace the importance of empiricism. In complex environments, what will happen is unknown. Only what has already happened may be used for forward-looking decision-making. So key is this: going into the exam, if you're taking the PSM exam, be very aware of what empiricism means. Understand that without real experience, evidence based on what you've really done, without those, you're just stabbing in the dark. In order to really say, this is the best way forward, this is the best approach to solve this problem, you should have some experience. And that's what empiricism is all about. I would advise that you read, again, the Scrum Guide, take a look at those pages where I pulled those blurbs from, and understand this for your exam. In our next episode, we'll talk about something else. If you have any questions about this exam, you're thinking about it, you're wondering, drop me a comment below. Again, you just need to remember, the best person to learn from is the originator. And that's why I encourage you, check out Ken's channel on YouTube, look for scrum.org. I know there are lots of organizations that say you can become a Scrum Master, and so on and so forth. Pretty much the two that Ken has been affiliated with, and those are the ones I typically recommend if you want to become a Scrum Master, definitely look at these first: the Scrum Alliance and scrum.org. Okay, if you're really serious about taking this to a whole new level, getting certified in other things is one thing, but when it comes to Scrum, pay close attention to what Ken and Jeff are doing. All right, so check out scrum.org, and I'll see you in the next episode.